Om Magyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are in My Eye Times, Vision Beyond Journalism. Once again, Ravi, talking to you, and we are in part 2, Vastu versus Feng Shui. And we have our special guest again, Mr. Arthur Smith or Mr. Ajamil Das, who are with us today. One request from all of you, please kindly, you have your handphone and you're paying the bill, you have your data coverage, kindly, good things every time. Our thanks to My Eye Times because they bring the best knowledge to your doorstep. And it's in your hand now. Kindly, please, please, please share this topic today, Vastu versus Feng Shui, the second part of this wonderful live interview. Please share it to your friends, your relatives. Good thing shouldn't stop. Good things should continue. Let's begin. Once again, welcome Mr. Arthur, Mr. Ajamil Das to the studio.
Thank you, Ravi. Thank you. Thank you.
Today, we have very interesting topic. We are going to speak, of course, the master is going to share. There's going to be two segments. First segment, we're going to talk about decluttering your home. Or another way of saying is detoxifying your home. You know, that's the first segment. And the second topic today will be the art of living. The art of living, karmic cleansing. That's most powerful. I was hearing it on the way. It's so powerful topic. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, all of you who are listening, Mr. Ajamil Das, our guest speaker today, he's practicing this not now, many years. How many years? 38 years and more. So you are getting it direct to your home. The knowledge he has learned, it is coming from the disciplic succession, coming from the Vedas, and it is original. So maybe the message might be a little bit bitter. It's okay. Bitter good is bitter, but it's good for the body. So the message might be, some of you might be hearing it, hey, it is quite hard to accept, but the reality is it works. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to our speaker today for the first topic. The first topic is detoxifying the home or decluttering the home. Yes.
Thank you, Ravi. Thank you.
Most welcome.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So, no doubt many of you have read various books on the science of Vastu and Feng Shui. And no doubt you have learnt many different principles for a harmonious and prosperous living space. Last week we covered some topics which we introduced to you, but and I hope you have taken those topics and found some value in them and even applied them to your living space or to your working space. So the art of the science of Vastu comprises many different contributing factors that make your living space or your working space auspicious or inauspicious. So today we're going to concentrate on a very important Vastu defect, we call it, which is when your living space or your working space is cluttered. So the word clutter means basically your office or your home is in a mess. It's not organized. You've got everything spread out everywhere. Things are not categorized. Things are not organized. There is rubbish on the floor. There is a Things are not, clothes are not put away. So I have seen over the last 35 years many homes which I've been called to give some advice as to how they can improve the energy in their house or in their office. And what I can say is that I have seen properties that actually have good Vastu, but they have very bad clutter. And I have seen properties that have bad Vastu, but they have no clutter. So even a property that actually has bad Vastu, if they do this one thing and don't have any clutter, it's a huge relief in that living space or that working space. It makes a difference to the energy of that building.
At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, I just to zoom into the clutter. Beautifully, you related that clutter. There is a connection between clutter and energy. And based on your experience, you notice that there are bad Vastu, but because there is no, the house is so organized, it has the impact. Yeah. Even if they have a good Vastu in the house, but if disorganized or it's a mess, it also affects the house, the energy.
It spoils the good Vastu.
All right, wonderful. Please continue.
So another way we can see it is your body. Now, your living space or your working space, your house or your office, is actually the body for your body.
Body for your body.
The body that we each have now needs to sometimes be detoxified. If the body has toxins, then you become diseased, you become ill, you become low of energy, you become unproductive. You suffer, basically, if there's too many toxins within your body. It is what everybody's trying to do nowadays. Everybody's trying to detox their bodies. So in the same way, we need to detox the living space and the working space that where we spend most of our lives. Now, there is a way of doing that, and I'm going to give one example. There was one lady in the UK. She was an English lady. She was a professor, very well educated, had a lot of money, had a big house in Oxford, and it so happened actually she was vegetarian, and she came to one of my Vastu courses. So she said, and I spoke on this decluttering and detoxing your house. She said, you have to come to my house. You have to come to my house and help me to declutter it. So I said, but why don't you just follow what we said and declutter it yourself? Why don't you do it yourself? So she said, no, please, you have to come. Please come to my place. So I went to her house, and what I found there, as soon as we opened the door, big house, very big house in Oxford, I went inside the door. As soon as I got inside the door, the hallway was full of boxes. And I said, what is this? She said, that's my clutter. She openly admitted that she was under the grip. She was under the grip of the clutter. It took an energy by itself within the house. Now, she's an intelligent lady, she knows it, but she still couldn't remove it. So she had to call someone to help her to take it out. So I spent about nearly 2 days with her. I said, what's in this box? And she said, oh, that, I can't throw that away. I said, when was the last time you used that? Oh, it was about 5 years ago. 5 years ago? You know what, in another 5 years' time, you're not going to be able to, you won't use this. You'll be saying the same thing. It'll be 10 years. So in this way, her house was full of so many things. So she started putting them all out onto the street. I'll get rid of that, I'll sell that, I'll give that away. So she decluttered the house. On the second day, I came back and half of the stuff that we put out went back in again. I said, what's happening? She said, oh, I had second thoughts. What if this has a sentimental value to it. Okay, sentimental value is okay. But this, I know you're not going to use this. So anyway, I think you get my point, is that there are a lot of things, there is a danger in throwing things out, is that you might throw something out that you might miss.
Yes.
There's a danger. But just think 2 times, 3 times. But there is a lot of things that are within the body that you don't need. Within the house, I should say, that you don't need. So similarly within the body has to release the toxins. If it doesn't release the toxins, all the energy in the body is spoiled. So similarly, the energy within the house or your office should be all neat, clean, and tidy. So that lady, eventually, we detoxed her house, but with great difficulty. So if you're struggling with detoxing your house, we've got some tips for you how you can do that. Please email me after this. I'll put an email in the thread,
yes,
so that you can, and we'll give you some tips how you can try to help you to get out of a situation where the clutter is so bad that it takes over and controls you. I mean, how many have you ever seen other people suffering from a house or an office that is full of clutter like that and they can't change it? Or how many of you might be experiencing that right now? So, as I mentioned before, the bad energy that comes from a house or an office being cluttered can spoil the good energy of a house that has good Vastu.
So that's very, very important point, Mr. Ajamil. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Vastu versus Feng Shui in live from Malaysia, our My iTime studio, right? And our guest speaker is touching a very vital point, ladies and gentlemen, vital point. Please note it down. And you can email him, and Mr. Ajamil, Mr. Arthur, willing to assist you. The subject now, we are in the first part of today's last Vastu versus Feng Shui topic. We are talking about clutter, decluttering your home and bring back the energy. Because with high energy, you can achieve a lot of things. With low energy, as Mr. Arthur pointed out very clearly, you feel lethargic, you feel weak, you don't know what to do, and that impacting your productivity. With decluttering, detoxifying, actually you have clear of mind, your house is peaceful, you can think better, you can make perfect decision.
So one more point to add to that, Ravi, is the point of cleanliness.
Cleanliness.
Yeah, part of decluttering is cleanliness, because the house or the office might not be cluttered, but if it's cluttered and not clean, then it's like a double whammy. It's very inauspicious, creates a very bad energy. But cleanliness is also very important. But I'll give you one tip. Please take a note of this. It's a very important point. Is that when you have what we call a maha cleanup or a big cleanup.
Maha cleanup.
Yeah.
Is a perfect maha, great cleaning. Huh?
The great cleaning.
Great cleaning.
One day you decide, okay, now I'm going to just really clean the house. Sometimes people get in that mood. Don't clean the house on Chaturdasi.
Don't clean the house on Chaturdasi. Maybe you can explain what is Chaturdasi.
Chaturdasi is the day before the dark moon or the day before the full moon. So that one day before, because it's inauspicious to clean. Don't clean on that day. But cleaning the house on a Purnima,
Purnima,
on the full moon, is auspicious. the cleaning has more effect.
Ladies and gentlemen, note it down. You can do Maha cleaning. Some wonderful terms, Mr. Arthur. Maha cleaning. Maha cleaning shouldn't be done one day before the dark moon or one day before the full moon. But Maha cleaning can be done on the auspicious day that is Purnima, that is full moon.
Yes.
Very auspicious.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then after that, after you do that Maha cleanup, everything is clean, neat and tidy, you will see the energy of your house or your office will make you many times more productive. It stimulates creative intelligence.
Wow.
It stimulates thoughtfulness, and it gives a very peaceful, relaxing atmosphere.
Wow.
There's absolutely no doubt about this. You go into the offices or the homes of the greatest thinkers in the world, you'll find this pattern.
Greatest thinkers in the world, you can find this pattern. Creativity triggered. Ladies and gentlemen, very important point to note it down. When you do Maha cleaning, the great cleaning, do it on full moon. And it has a direct impact in your life on decision making, clarity in thinking, and you can feel it immediately, as what our master Ajamil says here.
Now, I'm going to give you one controversial, maybe not so much controversial, but possibly some might see it as controversial, tip for sanctifying the house.
Controversial, not much controversial.
Depends on who it is.
To sanctify the home. You know, Mr. Arthur or Ajamil Prabhu, many of Indian origin, the Indian community especially, has been taken that the home is a temple.
Yes.
From those days, no?
Yes.
That is the culture. From those days, every house, they will have an altar. Immaterial whether they are rich, very rich, or poor, they will have an altar. The symbolic meaning of that culture is every home is a temple. And now you are talking about sanctifying the house.
Yes.
It's yours.
So on the full moon, Purnima day, you have done your Maha cleanup. You've organized everything. And it's actually quite fun when you do it, when you get into it. You can enjoy it. Now, for Indian families, this is not so controversial, but maybe in the Western countries it's more controversial because they don't understand the Vedic tradition, is that if you take a little bit of dry cow dung, and after you do the Maha cleanup, you sprinkle the cow dung in different corners of the house, just a little bit, like a little bit of dust, that's all. And it doesn't have to be wet, it can be dry. You sprinkle it. Why do we do that? Because in the Shastra it says that if in a temple by chance some blood was to fall on the floor of the temple, it produces a contamination. That blood, the spilling of the blood in the temple produces a contamination that can only be neutralized by cow dung. Only cow dung can sanctify that temple again, because the temple is supposed to be sanctified. So we use cow dung also in many different sacrifices, but that's another good tip. It's not very expensive, and it definitely works. I keep cow dung in my office, in my living space, in my working space. It's a very good energy. Why? Because the cow is sacred, and it produces this. Even the cow dung that comes from the cow is sacred. So when that goes into the living space or the working space, it makes it sacred after you do the Maha cleanup. So that's a very good hot tip. And for those who can't understand it, don't worry, it works. But a lot of you will understand it and go for it and put it in.
For the benefit of those who are also listening at the moment, I just say 1-2 words in Tamil, Mr. Arthur. மாட்டு சாணங்க சாணின்றாங்க ஆளுங்க அந்த மாட்டு சாணம் வந்து அவர் மாஸ்டர் அஜாமில் என்ன சொன்னார்னா, வீட்டை வந்து புனிதப்படுத்துறதுக்குள்ள தன்மை இருக்குது அப்படின்னு. அப்போ அந்த காலத்திலே நம்மளோட கலாச்சாரத்தில் வந்து பசுவை வந்து நம்ம வணங்குறோம் ஒரு தாயா. ஏன்னா அந்த மாட்டுச்சாணத்தை வந்து தெறிக்க சொல்கிறார், கொஞ்சம் தண்ணி கலந்து தெறிக்க சொல்கிறாரு. ஐயா வந்து ஆஃபீஸில் வந்து அதை வச்சுருக்கிறாரு, அவர் வீட்லேயும் அதை வச்சுருக்கிறாரு. பிகாஸ் அது வந்து நல்ல ஒரு சக்தியை கொடுக்குதுங்க, அந்த வீட்டுக்கு வந்து ஒரு நல்ல விஷயத்தை கொடுக்குது. அதனால வந்து அந்த அந்த மாட்டுச்சாணம் இப்போல்லாம் விற்கிறாங்க, நம்ம கடைகள்லாம் விற்கிது. அதை எடுத்து நீங்கள் கொஞ்சம், இதெல்லாம் வந்து ரொம்ப விலை உள்ள பொருள் சொல்ல முடியாது, மாட்டுச்சாணம் எங்கேயும் கிடைக்கும். அதை நீங்கள் தகுதி செய்து இதை கொஞ்சம் அவர் சொன்னதை வந்து கொஞ்சம் நீங்கள் பயன்படுத்துனீங்கன்னா நிச்சயமாக உங்கள் வீட்டில் வந்து சுமங்கலம், மங்களம், ஒரு நல்ல ஆஸ்பீஷியஸான விஷயம் பாருங்க அது. Go back to.
So the final touch on the decluttering of your house is to chant some Vedic mantras, either with the name of Krishna or with the name of Lord Ram or any of the names of the auspicious names of God. So then that is the final sanctifying touch on your
detoxifying,
on your newly cleansed
yes.
Living space and working space, the mantras.
Amazing.
And email me, we can also give you the mantras.
Amazing. So we are talking about decluttering, detoxifying the home, and very important message. Our guest speaker, Mr. Arthur Smith, is giving us today the tips. Do the Maha cleaning. Do the Maha cleaning on auspicious day, that is full moon. Number one. So number two, another tip he gave is cow dung has so much of energy to sanctify the home. And number three, to complete the entire process of cleaning, chant the Vedic mantras. You can chant the Hare Krishna mantra, you can chant Lord Ram's mantra, or any God's name which can sanctify the home to complete the whole process of sanctifying.
One final tip on decluttering. There is a big demon who likes to attack.
Demon na asurar, asura.
The decluttering.
Ah.
And you know what his name is? His name is procrastination.
Wow.
Mr. Procrastination. What happens is a person will say, yes, I know, I should clean my house. I'm going to do it next week. When next week comes, yeah, I'll do it next week. The next week comes, yes, I'll do it next week. I went to one man's house in the UK, Englishman, and he had a car in front of his house. And beautiful big house. But out in the front, he had this old car, banger. There's an old car. And inside that, he had all the rubbish. I said, why don't you get rid of that thing? That looks terrible. It's clutter. He said, I'm getting rid of it next week. I went back about 1 month, 2 months later. Yeah, I'm getting rid of it next week. 1 or 2 years he went on saying that. Yes, procrastination. And for what? Every day you have to look at this. It's a terrible sight. It was an eyesore. Every time you looked at it, it's depressing. You're just looking at rubbish. You're looking at the clutter. So I said, okay, I'm going to help you today. I put up the phone and I supervised the thing to be taken away. And even then he said, oh no, all the bhutas came into him. The procrastination demons, they got into his mind. So never ever procrastinate. Don't put off for tomorrow what you can do today. Shubhasha Shigam. Auspicious things should be done immediately. As soon as something auspicious, do it immediately. Don't put it off. Because if you put it off, you'll never do it.
Brilliant. Good things, as we said, do it immediately. And now this is auspicious thing. Do it fast and now. And the demon is procrastination, as he said. I was thinking, want to hear what's the name of the demon. What is the name of the asura? The asura's name is procrastination. Tali போடுறது. பரவாயில்ல அடுத்த வாரம் செஞ்சுக்கலாம். பரவாயில்ல அடுத்த நாள் செஞ்சுக்கலாம். But what Prabhu is telling today, very clear message, Auspicious thing must be done immediately, and this is the subject matter today. We end on the first subject matter, that is decluttering, and let's move on to the second topic for today, that is the art of living. Karmic cleansing is a fantastic topic, Mr. Arthur. Let's move into that subject matter. Yes. What do you mean by karmic cleansing?
Well, as the title of this second session is the art of living in our house by the process of karmic cleansing. Now, I know that's a lot of words, but we need all those words to describe that. But I'll just say it again. The art of living, living is an art. It's something that should be done artistically and with knowledge. So that the art of living in our house or in our office by the process of karmic cleansing. So this is the key word, that what you do, karma means your activity. So karmic cleansing. So there's good karma and there's bad karma. So we don't want to have any bad karmic activity within our living space or within our working space. Now, I'm going to do this in two parts. Now, the most inauspicious.
The most inauspicious.
The most inauspicious activity that you can have in your house or in your living space is the participation of eating cow's meat. It is mahapap.
Mahapavam.
It is mahapap. Mahapap. Very inauspicious activity. If you go to eat meat, then eat some other kind of meat. But better don't eat any meat, because all meat is bad karma. But if somebody has the cow's meat, participating in cow's meat within their house, then you need karmic cleansing. And the other thing is leather. If you have a leather sofa, the leather sofa is made with the cow's slaughtered cow's back. So the leather has come from the cows, and the cow is considered to be the mother. So to have the slaughtered mother, your slaughtered mother's skin on your couch in your house, and you sit on it, is very, very negative karma. Yeah. It is very, very negative. Believe me, I have seen it. One time I was in the UK, and it was an English family. And I said, you have to get, she told me, everything is going wrong in my life. And this is wrong, I'm having this problem, I'm having that problem, and this is going wrong. So when I went to her house, I said, what's that? She said, that's my leather sofa. I said, take it out, get rid of it. I said, that's bringing a lot of, get rid of it, give it away, don't sell it, don't take any money for it. You've slaughtered your mother, and you've got her hide, and you're sitting on it every day. What can you expect? Nothing good is going to happen in this house. So she threw it out. She got rid of it. I see. And then immediately the problems in that school were solved. So many problems were backed off. So this is the essence of karmic cleansing. There are many different types of karmic cleansing, and we won't get into all the details of all, because karma means so many different types of activities. Just in this session, I want to focus on the most severe type of negative karmic activity that you can have in your living space or working space, and how you have to cleanse your house of this particular bad karma, which is any kind of meat eating, and particularly eating cow's meat, and any kind of leather sofa which has come from the cows. So if you've got any of that in your living space or working space, get rid of it like it's a hand grenade. You know what is a hand grenade? A hand grenade is, if you hold on to it too long, it will blow up. If somebody throws you a hand grenade, What do you do with that hand grenade? Throw it to someone else. Throw it out the window, because it will blow up with inauspiciousness.
I understand.
So, very important point. A very subtle point. A lot of people say, "Oh, what's the problem? I've got my leather sofa. I didn't do it. I mean, I went and paid the money for that leather sofa. I paid a lot of money for that sofa." Some people say, and it's not my fault it's not my karma, but it is your karma, because the Shastras say that those who kill the cow, those who transport the meat of the cow, those who sell the cow, those who participate in any way towards the the negative karma of the cow being killed will have to suffer. And for every hair that is on the back of the cow, the person will have to take birth as a cow and get slaughtered. Very bad karma. So please, please worship. We should worship our mother cow, and don't let any of that type of negative karmic activity get into your house or get into your living space. So this is the most important aspect of karmic cleansing, not only for your house and for your office, but also for your very life. Please be vegetarian. You don't need to eat meat. I haven't eaten meat, and the strongest in most of my life, and I'm not short of energy. I have lots of energy, and there are many people who are vegetarian. You don't need to eat meat to be healthy, but we need to not eat meat to be healthy. In fact, so karmic cleansing starts there. There are other aspects of karmic cleansing, but we won't go into that because we don't have time, because that's that goes on unlimited. But we really wanted to focus on that. So if you've got any questions about that, please email me and we will answer it. Some people say, well, where does it say in the Vedas that you can't eat meat? Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it says, I'll give you the evidence. I'll give you the pramana, Shruti. It's in Shruti and it's Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. It's there in the Shastras.
Absolutely a powerful topic. Now, my mind, ladies and gentlemen, I think you will be thinking what I'm thinking as well. To go and check the sofa at home, whether it is made of cow leather, and is giving a direct evidence and proof that people has the impact of sinning by using the we pray to mother cow, and that is our culture. Anyway, Sanatana Dharma speaks about it. No? We have 7 mothers according to Shastras, and one of the mother is cow, because our mother's breast milk will only sustain for a few days. No, nowadays it's only 2-3 days. There is no more milk in mother's breast. And where the child getting the milk? From the cow, because the cow actually sustains the baby. So Prabhu Ajamil gave a marvelous explanation today. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the art of living and the process by karmic cleansing. And one of the most important subject matter we are talking now is in your living space, in your office, in your space, kindly don't eat meat. Possible. It's possible. He's a vegetarian. I'm a vegetarian. It can be done. Why? Because subject, again on top, the art of living. The art of living, if you want to be peaceful, if you want to be happy, there are certain process to follow. If you want to become a doctor, you have to study it for many, many years, from kindergarten, standard 1 to standard 6, from form 1 to form 6, and then in university to become a doctor, qualified doctor. So same thing, in order to be happy, a very, very simple method has been given in your living space. Kindly, if you have a sofa set, kindly check, because the subject is vast like an ocean. The karmic is vast like an ocean. But simple methodology our Mr. Arthur Smith has given today for all of us is check your sofa to the place where you're sitting, whether it is made of cow leather, the skin of the cow, because based on Shastra, based on evidence, based on Vedas, it is very, very sinful, and it might trigger and it might give a lot of trouble in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
I just want to add one more very important point on the same topic, but it's a little bit more subtle. Meat, or in Bahasa Malay they say daging, right?
Daging in Bahasa.
Daging comes in subtle forms, in less perceivable forms. For example, the most chocolates are covered with shellac.
Chocolate covers with shellac.
Shellac, the shiny
part.
The shiny stuff the shiny surface that you get around a chocolate is called shellac. They have different other names as well, but it's shellac. That shellac comes from crushed beetles.
Crushed beetles.
Crushed beetles, which means it's not vegetarian. So that also is not a good karmic energy.
I see.
There are many different foods out there that are not vegetarian. This E number, that E number, the additives and so on, that have animal products in them. That's why a lot of vegetarians are very keen to make sure that no bad karmic energy goes into their body. Therefore, to be pure vegetarian means you have a more pure life and the karmic energy is better. Whereas when the negative energy goes in, it produces negativity within the thoughts and then within the performance and also with one's karma. So try to be a pure vegetarian. You will not die if you have a pure vegetarian diet. I have nothing but a pure... There's a saying that if you're in doubt, leave it out. If I look at something and I say, is this vegetarian or not? If I have one little doubt, I leave it out. Will I die? No. Will I die if I eat it? Probably yes. But at least I would die karmically. So this is also in line with the karmic cleansing. We cleanse the karmic energy of our body, of our house, of our office, and then higher still, we cleanse the energy, the karmic energy of our mind. And for that we need a mantra. So always chant the name of Krishna or the name of Ram, and that will cleanse the mind. That takes the negative karma out of the mind. So we're going on a higher level. So we do karmic cleansing on so many different levels. But if you're trying to keep your mind free from negative karmic energy, and in your house it is full of negative karmic energy, then it's like lighting the fire and pouring the water on at the same time.
That's very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Ladies and gentlemen, we are from the studio of My Eye Times, and the topic is Vastu versus Feng Shui. And our guest speaker today is Mr. Arthur Smith. Fantastic, fabulous. The last statement he gave today is, if you are not careful, it's like the bad karmic is like a fire. And if you keep on doing the same thing, it is like pouring the oil, pouring the petrol on the fire, and it is never going to stop, ladies and gentlemen. If you have to stop, you have to change here, and to change here, you need knowledge, and knowledge is from our Vedas, and Vedas has been given by God to us, and He takes us from the physical to the mental to much more higher level today. The physical is even to the minute details of chocolate. The shiny part of the chocolate, ladies and gentlemen, it is also made of animal product, and it has a bad karmic energy. And the place we are sitting, the sofa, kindly please check. I believe Indians especially have the sentiment for mother cow. And probably you didn't realize that the sofa made of the cow skin. Kindly please check it out. Probably because of that, husband and wife is fighting at home, no? We don't know. Based on the experience our speaker told today, please kindly check the energy on the physical level, the food, possible, try to become vegetarian and pure vegetarian. Check what you are eating. And he said very clearly, you won't die if you don't eat meat. That's a perfect message our Mr. Arthur gave today. And in the subtle, much more subtle level is to clean the mind, to have very, very clean mind, chant the mantra. And when you chant the mantra of Lord Ram's name or Krishna's name, it cleans immediately, the cleaning process taking. And ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to the end of today's topic, and our master is asking next 2 to 3 minutes to wrap up the session. We are at the 40 minutes, and Mr. David Anand, the great David Anand, has given me the best signal ever, 40.
Right. So just to quickly wrap things up with 2 very, very hot tips. One is that if you eat grains, annam, cooked by somebody who eats meat, all their karma goes to you.
This is a very good knowledge.
All their karma goes to you. Do your own cooking, or only eat the cooking of those you trust, who you know, who have good habits.
Even rice, white rice, when you're eating, ladies and gentlemen, message, very important message. If the rice cooked by the person who eat meat, you also derive the bad karma of that person to you. Yes. That's a message, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's stated very clearly in the Shastras. He passes all of his bad karma onto you.
Many will be wondering, including me, Mr. Arthur, then what to eat? Everywhere is restaurant in Malaysia. Wherever you go, there's perfect restaurant. Everywhere, delicious food. And I don't know who is cooking the rice.
Well, you just have to pray that the person who is cooking it is a good person.
Wow.
It's just by chance. But there are some...
I need to ask my iTimes to do the survey, Mr. David, to see who is cooking the rice. Have a sensor to detect about the character. Yes.
There are some very good vegetarian restaurants in KL, which I have designed the Vastu for.
I see. Any particular restaurant you can name it? I'm from Penang. I'm staying here. Very difficult to find vegetarian food.
There's Gopala's food court in Brickfields.
Gopala's food court in Brickfields.
And so his pure vegetarian food is offered carefully to Krishna and is done by a person who has got pure habits. So you won't pick up any negative karma from that. So with eating in restaurants, it is potluck. You don't know who's... Because if the person cooking has bad habits, then he's going to
attract.
You're going to take his negative karma. So the other good restaurants, I will give you some names. We have to look it up because in the next session we'll mention that. We'll give a recommendation.
And you are going back to India. Ladies and gentlemen, let's pray for Mr. Arthur for such a fabulous and marvelous and insightful Vastu messages directly from Vedas. And best part of Mr. Arthur is he's practicing what he's preaching. Ladies and gentlemen, he is practicing what he is preaching. A person living with the knowledge, a living example, a person as a normal human who has given us such a wonderful message from the Vedas. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of all the person who was watching this live interview today, we would like to thank the guest speaker, Mr. Arthur Smith or Mr. Ajamil Das, as known. And thank you so much, and we wish you all the best in your journey to Mayapur, and we would like to get back to you in my iTimes for future interviews. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, there is a saying in Tamil. தப்பா சொல்லியிருந்தா மன்னிச்சுங்க, இப்படி தான் சொல்லுவாங்க, பொண்ணு கிடைச்சாலும் புதன் கிடைக்காது அப்படின்னு. ஸோ அதனால புதன்கிழமை மை iTimes எனக்கு ஒரு நல்ல கர்ம செய்யறதுக்கு வாய்ப்பு கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. அடுத்த வாரம் இன்னொரு guest speaker we already lined up. Next week, please be on time, 8:30. Next week, we are going to invite His Grace Shimeshwara Prabhu, who recently came out in the wonderful article about Pongal. I saw the message was so good, and is willing to share Pongal from all the angles. Ladies and gentlemen, maybe we missed out this Pongal. Coming year Pongal, we are going to have the perspective of Pongal from every angle and every corner. Don't miss next week, Makkal Aathangam with His Grace Simeshwara Das, the Regional Secretary of International Society of Krishna Consciousness. Article came out and he would like to share this to all of you. Next week, Wednesday, for that, my wrap-up today is auspicious thing, do it immediately. With the blessing of Master Ajamil today, auspicious thing, do it immediately. Adutha Mulu Paurnamiki, Maha cleaning, எல்லாரும் செய்வாங்க நம்ம வீட்ல நல்லா இருப்பாங்க. மகா கிளீனிங் செய்யறதுக்கு அந்த குடும்பமே இறங்கி செய்யும்போது அந்த வீடு சுமங்கலம் ஆகுது, மங்களம் நடக்குது, சந்தோஷம் கிடைக்குது, மன அமைதி கிடைக்குது, வாழ்க்கையில பாக்கியம் வருது. அது சொல்லி மை ஐ டைம்ஸ் ஸ்டுடியோல இருந்து விடைபெறுகிறேன். R.M. Ravichandar. நன்றி, வணக்கம்.